The age of transition.
You are listening to The Age of Transitions. My name is FRANZ. Coming at you live this Friday night, May 3rd, 2024. Live, as always, from the facilities of Ochelli.com on Friday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time. First hour, Age of Transitions. Second hour, Uncle the Podcast. Thank you for listening and for supporting the Ochelli Radio Network. You can send a donation at Ochelli.com to keep the radio network going and growing. Thank you for that. You can also find my website and this podcast directly at my website, theageoftransitions.com. I have lots of ways to support. The best one, Revolve, Man's Scientific Rise to Godhood. Got copies, paperback, ebook, copies both available of that. Also have a Patreon campaign. Thank you for everybody supporting, keeping the show going there. Have T-shirts and also have affiliate links. If you're starting your own podcast, consider using Libsyn with promo code FRANZ. You'll get 2 months for free. And also, if you're ever buying books online, do it through bookshop.org via the link on my site. Go to theageoftransitions.com, find the link to bookshop.org, and anything you get from there, I'll get a little kickback through the affiliate advertising link on my site. So thank you for remembering to do that. Thank you for listening, subscribing, maybe writing up a review on Apple Podcasts of the show. That helps too if you can do that. I haven't checked very recently if there's any new ones coming in, but if you write one, let me know. That'd be good. Also, if you're able to write a review of Revolve, if you buy it from Lulu, there aren't any reviews on Lulu. That'd be good to have one there, or Amazon as well. If you want to write a review there, it's helpful. So thank you for everything, everybody. Live tonight, no calls now, but we are live on the Ochelli Radio Network. Glad to be here. A lot going on, a lot to talk about. So I do have quite a bit kind of lined up for topics tonight, so we'll just jump right into it. The first one I could have covered last week because it had already happened, but I think I knew about, but it kind of slipped my mind, and then I was reminded of this development through Particle Ion, my old contributor there at Transalchemy. He sent me this link on Twitter to this article, which we're gonna I might read little bits and pieces. I don't know if I'll even have to read from the article, but I'll reference it here. Let's see. The article itself is from theguardian.com. The title of the article is Eugenics on Steroids, the Toxic and Contested Legacy of Oxford's Future of Humanity Institute. That's the article. Now, this article is about the closing of the Future of Humanity Institute, which is an interesting and noteworthy development, especially if we're interested in transhumanism, and I think we are here at the Age of Transitions. So, what is the Future of Humanity Institute? It's a special little institute set up within Oxford University. It was I don't know if what his position was, like chairman or something like that, but it was Nick Bostrom running the thing. You also had the only other member I know that was a member there at Oxford was Anders Sandberg. Both Bostrom and Sandberg are well-known transhumanists, both members of the former World Transhumanist Association, which is now defunct. That turned into Humanity Plus, and I don't know if the two of them, what their affiliation even with that group is now, Bostrom and Sandberg, but definitely prominent transhumanists, to say the least, and both professors at Oxford. They're part of this Future of Humanity Institute, which is very much a darling, the FHI there at Oxford was very much a darling of the big transhumanists, the big money backers of the ideology of transhumanism and things like this. So Bostrom himself, interesting character. I think I already said he was the one-time head of the WTA, the World Transhumanist Association. He was like the president, or again, I forget the titles, but he was the head of that thing for a bit. Earlier on when it was called the WTA. Then he went on and to head this Future of Humanity Institute at Oxford. He has he's a philosopher. His probably most well-known piece that he's written is the simulation hypothesis, which is the basic idea behind that is, we can see that there's a likelihood that computers can create such advanced simulations in the near future. The idea is like that's so likely to happen that our present is very likely, our present reality that we experience, our life, everything that we know is just merely a simulation being run on a computer that's already been made. All of, Maya, right? That whole, the old, like Vedic concept of, the world is an illusion, taking that spiritual metaphysical concept that is, it's been around for as long as humanity has been around, that idea. It's a new transhumanist spin on that idea. It's like, oh yeah, everything's a simulation. So he's most famous for writing that. It's kind of a crazy paper. And Bostrom's kind of a wacky guy. Bostrom, this article details this. Bostrom recently, I think in the past year, got in trouble because an old email from when he was younger, he was a post-grad student when he wrote this. He was like 23 or something when he wrote this. This is many years ago. But he wrote some racist things. Let me see if I can find where it mentions that. I don't know. And anyway, it did. Oh, here we go. Here it is. I'll read this paragraph to explain what that was. Both Bostrom and the Institute, Future of Humanity Institute, which brought together philosophers, computer scientists, mathematicians, and economists, have been subject to a number of controversies in recent years. 15 months ago, Bostrom was forced to issue an apology for comments he made in a group email back in 1996 when he was a 23-year-old postgraduate student at the London School of Economics. In the retrieved message, Bostrom used the N-word and argued that white people were more intelligent than black people. The apology did little to placate Bostrom's critics. Okay, yeah. So he had to issue this apology because of that. And so Oxford was getting a little bit upset with the Future of Humanity Institute. They were looking for reasons to drop it, and recently they did. A couple of weeks ago, that they shut it down. But lots had happened up until that point. I mean, for one thing, on the more on like the sort of darker side of the whole thing. Bostrom, yes, we can see he's got issues there, right? Personal issues, to say the least. But the whole transhumanist weird sort of philosophy that Bostrom definitely brings to the table with this whole thing ties into, as the title of this article references, it ties into eugenics. Apparently, that email thread, I think, where Bostrom got in trouble, he was talking about eugenics and dysgenics, saying that he did have a concern that there are these dysgenic trends in society where, like, if we're not careful, people are just going to like breed and not be intelligent anymore. You know, the old eugenic concept of like all the idiots are breeding real quick and everybody's going to be stupid soon, like an idiocracy sort of concept. And so a lot going on here, but this is another, like we were saying last week, as I was saying, this is a fun little article that just points out how myself, and the things that I've put out over the years have been correct, where I have equated the transhumanist movement with the eugenics movement. There's definitely similarities. There's definitely like certain ideas that within transhumanism that are eugenic in nature. Absolutely. Bostrom is one of these guys that's doing it. And I mean, this is a mainstream thing. Oxford's upset about it now. Oxford booted the Future of Humanity Institute in large part because of this. So you can't really relegate this to the concept of conspiracy theory. It's like, no, the transhumanists have a eugenic problem, eugenics ideological problem, period. There's really no contesting that. The only thing you can contest is who within transhumanism can we point a finger at, and who maybe we shouldn't. You make the case where, oh, these are the good transhumanists, these are the bad ones, but I might not even go there now. We definitely could. There's distinctions to be made. But Bostrom and the Future of Humanity Institute, definitely darlings of the Silicon Valley elite sect, definitely funding going their way from the big billionaires, right? Peter Thiel's, and I think Elon Musk's article mentions that Musk sent him some money and some other Silicon Valley kook. I can't remember who, whatever. And then this article also makes mention that long-termism and effective altruism, those two ideologies were sort of born out of really the Future of Humanity Institute. And their version of transhumanism sort of bore out long-termism and effective altruism, which have been problematic and sort of so people can easily sort of attack and see the problems with all of this stuff: long-termism, effective altruism, eugenics, and the Future of Humanity Institute. They're not. Now you'll notice, I notice that transhumanism, the word itself, I don't know if it's even mentioned once in this entire article. Oh, no, it is. I'm sorry. Here it is. So it is. Okay. Like Sandberg, Bostrom has advocated transhumanism, the belief in using advanced technologies to enhance longevity and cognition, and is said to have signed up for cryogenic preservation. So, okay, it does mention that, but it doesn't like make a lot of hay of transhumanism. But I'll restate my opinion on transhumanism, that it is definitely another fringe outpost. It's a fringe ideology. It's almost, I would not call it countercultural, but it's fringe to say for sure. It's got backing, once again, from huge moneyed individuals and organizations. A lot of individual money coming its way, like with the Teals always funding this stuff. It should not come as a surprise when some like extreme aspects, some weird stuff like eugenics or maybe like neo-Nazi ideology or some sort of crazy stuff works its way into a fringe movement. It's kind of par for the course. That's as much true for transhumanism as it is for something like 9/11 Truth. Okay? Now, I'm not making a judgment on either one of those things now. I'm just saying, if you out there, listener, have an interest in a fringe ideology or a fringe concept, just remember that these things can go south really quick, and always be on the lookout for that, no matter what the reason is. But Bostrom, I don't feel bad for Bostrom. I don't like Bostrom. Anders Sandberg isn't a bad guy, honestly. He seems actually kind of cool. But, do I align with him ideologically? No. But he seems actually like a really nice person. Bostrom, I don't trust him at all. He gives nobody any reason to trust him, except for these billionaires giving him a bunch of money. But, Bostrom has his own problems with them, I'm sure. He's got to keep them happy. But anyway, Future of Humanity Institute closing its doors. Pretty interesting story in terms of the transhumanist front. So we'll just kind of. I kind of want to make the point that with transhumanism, there's different branches of them, and you could sort of divide it into more right-leaning cadres within the transhumanist circles, and then more left-wing sort of cadres. Both of these groups receive massive funding from billionaires. Okay. I would, going forward, if and when transhumanism is going to get more popular support and continuing onward as AI develops more and more and becomes more in the mainstream, and the ramifications of the development and deployment of these new technologies, AI and everything else that comes with it, as that becomes more of the mainstream dialogue, I would say look to transhumanism to mainstream itself, kind of like the MAGA movement has mainstreamed itself alongside of the Republican Party, right? The Republican Party is MAGA now. Look for a possible future with the transhumanists glomming on to the more progressive side of the political spectrum. Look to like the IEET of Martin Rothblatt. That's funded by Martin Rothblatt. Is the IEET is very much a progressive outpost of transhumanism. I would say that's likely to come to prominence and use progressive values to push the transhumanist agenda forward. Just so that they can not shoot themselves in the foot, as Bostrom seemingly has here, and to say that like, well, we're not eugenics anymore. That was the Future of Humanity Institute. That was Bostrom, and that was effective altruism. Sam Bankman-Fried is in jail now. We've solved that problem. We're somebody else. They'll distance themselves. It'll morph. It'll change. That's how these things go. The same general idea is there, yes, but things move around and mutate and change a bit. It doesn't change the fact that the actual important goings on in the world, like the development and deployment of artificial intelligence, is happening all the while, no matter how we think or feel about it. That is the main thing. Politics rolls on and keeps changing the world as it always has and will continue to do so, whether MAGA is around or not, right? So that's the idea there, okay? But enough of the transhumanists, enough of that. Let's move on to other stories of interest. This is, once again, concepts that we've been talking about on the show for quite some time now. We're continuing to cover the Cold War 2.0, maybe we could call it, the geopolitical scene between the big players, America and China in particular, the sort of technological Cold War going on in the background or the foreground. I think probably it ought to be the foreground is the development of AI, as we've been saying on the whole show, the development and deployment of AI technologies, of machine learning systems, integrating them into the entire economic model of an entire country. The United States is floundering around trying to do this, and China also doing the same thing. Both countries having successes and failures at this, and successes and failures with their own economic systems and political systems at large. It's somewhat comical, in a dark comical sense, to see all of this happening. It's also horrifying, terrifying, and the lives of all of us hang in the balance as to whether and how all of this will pan out, how it continues panning out as each day, each minute, hour, day, year rolls on and on. continuing story. But I think it's safe to say that the old neoliberal and neocon political system here in our wonderful country is very much now in crisis. The old business as usual does not seem to be working. And it's quite fascinating to see how that's panning out. Now, I have another article here that's going to illustrate this. And, man, this is a doozy. This one I found from J.P. Satili's News Vandal Rundown. So I did pull it out from that. Thank you again, J.P., for the article here. The article is from AsiaTimes.com. And, boy, the author is got you might recognize the author's name. This article was written by none other than Eric Prince. You might remember him from Blackwater, being the head of that private mercenary group, Blackwater, which I believe recently, or probably not so recently, changed its rebranded to, I believe, Z. I think it rebranded a couple times. So the last one I remember it being Z. Sounds like it was changing its pronoun or something like that. But no, that's its new corporate identity. I don't even know what its corporate identity now is. I can't keep up with that. But we know Eric Prince. He's a real star of the Bush era Neocon war on terror extravaganza that was going on. Now, this article is fascinating because what it does is it proceeds to tear apart the neocons, their war on terror, the entire establishment that they had going. He just rips into it in this, which is it bends the mind. It's like I read this article, then I didn't notice who wrote this until after. I'm like, what? He wrote this? And yeah, okay. So so anyway, the title of this article from AsiaTimes.com is "Too Big to Win: How Neoconservatives and Their Military-Industrial Complex Allies Keep America Losing." And then, okay, I've picked out certain quotes from this article, which I'll read here. So we're just going to go through a couple of these quotes. Here's one. An absence of strategic discipline and a military policy that prioritizes a tiny guild of contractors feeding an obese, top-heavy structure rather than winning wars. Okay, so here Prince proceeds in this article to tear down the entire neocon, like Bush administration setup, where it's like, okay, we're going to war on terror. We're going over to the Middle East. We're going to. He cites a lot of interesting like price points of how overbloated and expensive this all was. We'll get back to that point, but he's really like laying into that whole system, of which he was a major beneficiary. So that brings up the main question. I was like, what's Eric Prince doing here? I think that answer will come when we get toward the end of the article. So we'll return to that. Keep that in the back of your head. But here he is. He's railing away like an obese, top-heavy structure. They don't even care about winning wars. They just care about paying themselves. They make sure that they're there and that they're getting paid by these government contracts to carry out these unwinnable. They don't even care if they win because they're just making money off of it. Yes, okay, tell us something we don't know. But anyway, here's another quote. Partly as a consequence of the central economic role that the USSR had come to play for the U.S. defense industries, how about Cold War era, the opportunity to positively engage with Russia after 1991 was rejected by the dominant neoconservative faction and their military-industrial complex allies in Washington. Okay, so he's saying that, like, you know, Cold War kind of set the gears into motion. He mentions Reagan and all that too. It's like, okay, it was big business to make weapons in this Cold War scenario. Russia became independent, we could have decided to, work together and try to help them out, become partners. But no, that's not what happened, because it was more profitable all along. The old Cold War mentality of like maintaining enemies was good for business. And then he lists off all sorts of absurd levels of economic waste during the Afghan war. He pawns that off on, the U.S. government, its inefficiency, et cetera, et cetera. Not that is not correct. Okay, here's another quote. The U.S. military mows the lawn with Lamborghinis when Kubota tractors are what our allies need. Okay, so this is just him being kind of cute, saying like, look, we're so wasteful. We're spending all this ridiculous amount of money when we're not being utilitarian. We just need to spend a little money to get the job that needs to be done with the tools that are necessary. We don't need to be like just wasting money just for the sake of it. Another quote, America's private sector has always outperformed. Okay. Screw. Here's where we're starting to see where Eric Prince is going with all this, I believe. And it kind of ties all together. It's like, what the hell is this guy writing this for? Is he criticizing himself? Like, what's going on? Okay, but anyway, quote, America's private sector has always outperformed government in solving problems. It is time to unleash America's entrepreneurs in foreign policy to cut costs and restore American credibility. There's what Eric Prince is all up to. If I remember correctly, Blackwater, private industry, private contractor, private mercenary army that was employed to go over to the Middle East during the War on Terror. Thank you, Bush era. I don't see a thank you to the Neocons here from Eric Prince, which you would expect. No, he's just tearing into him like he hates him. And why? Because what he's doing is the old like, oh, look at the problem. Problem's like bloated. It's government. Government does all the bad stuff. Is like, and the solution is, well, just get the private sector to do the whole thing, and it'll be efficient. We'll save money. They'll get the job done. They'll actually care about winning wars, efficiency. Hey, I'm a private sector guy. I know this. You want to hire me? Of course, it will be the government that's hiring him and contracting him out. But his argument would be, oh, yeah, I'll cut costs of, these old guys that are going to waste a bunch of money. I'll show you how to do it my business plan's way better. So kind of interesting to see that going on. Similar to the Eric Schmidt thing with his whole push for AI and Silicon Valley to take greater command over the national security apparatus. And it's mentioning the very same thing in this article of the Indo-Pacific theater, right? In China, the threat of China, we have to shift over there. That's the real problem. We got to stop worrying about Afghanistan and Iraq and everything over in the Middle East. That's yesterday. We got to move forward. We got to do it. We have to trust the private sector to do this. And really, to me, this whole article just misses the whole point on purpose, right? It's not like the author doesn't understand this, but the whole point to me is public, private. It's the same damn thing. It's the government giving money to the private, to the military industrial complex, as he rightly calls it. It's just a matter of what companies are we favoring? Is this yet again another example of pointing the finger at the old aerospace dinosaurs and saying those guys got to go? It's all about the new kid on the block. We need to get these new tech companies more involved in this, and we need to get other new private sector solutions going here and cut off the money to these floundering old guys that we want to push out of the way. I think there might be a bit of that going on once again. Kind of interesting to see this past week, another story broke where a whistleblower from Boeing, the second one, has died as they're whistleblowing about quality problems at the Boeing's civilian aircraft assembly up in the Pacific Northwest there. So 2 different whistleblowers on that front have perished in this past year. One was died just before he was going to testify in court about this. That was the first guy, and I apologize, I don't have the names of either of these poor guys. But this more recent one, I think he developed some illness, like a respiratory illness or something. And it's like, well, the first guy died by suicide, right? By self-inflicted gunshot, supposedly. This one was some kind of illness. I mean, it may have been just, and nobody knows. I don't know what happened, but it's convenient for Boeing. What actually happened, we don't know. I don't know. But Boeing, definitely iconic military industrial contractor. Iconic in its sort of in terms of the private sector civilian facing. It's iconic as the aviation brand that we all know there, simultaneously as the military contractor. And we went into this, we've gone this in the past couple of shows, but I'll just reiterate that. There's a lot of really powerful, potent, symbolic stuff going on in the continuing developments with Boeing. And there's just so much of what's going on with our economy, with our nation, with our politics, with our military, is really embodied in the never-ending drama that is Boeing right now. You can really see a lot happening there. It's really crazy. Just the basic corruption of our entire system. Boeing, iconic. You look at what happened to Boeing as a company, as a corporation, their practices, the practices that they chose as a company to prioritize were those that pretty much every other company is doing too. And what is the game? The game is just these financial little games that you play to make more money for who? For the shareholders, for the CEOs, for those that own stake in the company. They get richer and richer and richer off of playing stupid financial games that don't actually do anything other than line their pockets. Meanwhile, their company takes a literal and metaphorical nosedive as they don't even care about the quality of their product anymore. It's falling apart to the extent that's causing quite possibly irreparable damage to their reputation. And so that begs the question, can they even go on as a company going forward? Do they even have a product anymore? Do they have a product that they can sell? Are they going to do they care? Are they just still buying back their own stock right now and figuring out how to do all those stupid financial games? Or do they actually care about their product? So that is the story of the United States economy as a whole. Look at that. That's what everybody's doing. Does anybody care about anything that matters? No. What do they care about? Money. What is money? It's a game of Monopoly. We've obsessed over this stupidity of something that is not even real. Like this alchemical means of exchange has become so dominant over our entire system that it's destroying the whole thing. It's almost poetic. It's almost a thing of beauty. It's dark comedy. In that sense, it's almost wonderful. But it's also horrendous because everything is falling in the wake of this nonsense, we, the regular people, have to deal with this BS. We have to live our lives out. We have to sit here slaving away, doing hard labor for less and less money, while these goons run off with everything that is, when I say everything, it's essentially nothing. So they're almost getting what they deserve. They believe that they're getting everything, but what is everything? These are the philosophical questions that nobody could give a rat's ass about in the first place. Nobody cares about anything that really matters, anything real. The actual material world is getting forgotten. It's getting destroyed. It's getting trampled on. It's getting polluted. We're doing all of that. Meanwhile, we can't stop obsessing over some dumb thing we've made up in our own heads. That's all it is. Like our own heads are all. The financial system is like an extension of our greater mind, you know. And we think abstractly with our minds. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But when we come up with these systems of quantification, systems of exchange that are meant to be there as systems of exchange to keep us actually doing things with one another, when those said systems, which are nothing more than just ways of counting, become elevated as the main thing to focus on, you've got a problem. That's what's happening in the world overall, as far as I can tell. But who am I? I'm just another poor idiot that's stupid enough to go out there and, again, do labor for no real reason. There's no real benefit to me, not really, but I do it anyway because I'm stupid. If I was smart, I would figure out some stupid financial game to get rich, and I would, play the dumb numbers game like everybody else that's successful, and I would do that. If I was truly smart, I would do that. But I'm not. I'm an idiot, so I don't. But the point of this is that I'm happy to be an idiot. If being successful, if being intelligent means glomming on to this system of nothing, then you may have that. You can have your success. It's a flash in the pan that's not going to last very long. So enjoy it while it does last. You, the beneficiaries of this, are really lucky that the American people don't hold you accountable. You're very lucky that you're able to shoot down actual critiques like the Occupy Wall Street. Anything that pops up that's a problem for you, you just shoot it in the foot. You find some way to extinguish the flame. It goes away, and you go about your business. So keep doing that. Keep doing that, and we'll see what the ultimate outcome of this is. All right. I hope you're enjoying your life. If anybody out there, those who are, again, the beneficiaries of this, I don't know if you actually listen to this, but if you do, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope that life is good. I really do. I hope you enjoy your days. Just know that my days, when I'm spending my time doing stupid labor, I also have the time to live in my own head and think about all this. You don't think I'm not thinking about it constantly. Every moment of every day, I'm thinking about this. This is going through my head. I do not forget. I remember all of this. I'm paying attention. I'm not a complete moron. I am a moron, but I'm not a complete moron. I'm not the only one. People aren't totally stupid. They can read the writing on the wall. They know what's going on. So just keep that in mind while you're living the life. Know that we know, okay? Just be aware of that. I'm not asking you to repent. I don't know if you care to, but just realize that we know what's going on, okay? we're probably half as stupid as you think you are. But it doesn't take a whole lot of intelligence to see what's going on. Let me return to my notes because I went off on tirade that I didn't think I was going to have. Maybe it was because I had to read an Eric Prince article. Might have sent me off the rails. But let's see here. Asia. Okay, there is another article that hits on the same general topic that Eric Prince is talking about. This one is, once again, I read, I think it was last week or the week or the show before that, I read an article from the same group. This is the National Interest, formerly under the leadership of Henry Kissinger, now under somebody else's leadership. I don't know who, but whatever. nationalinterest.org. This article is by a Navy guy, Jonathan G. Wattell. Title is America is Losing Tomorrow's War in the Indo-Pacific. Washington's foreign military financing program is wholly de-aligned with its stated Asia focus. Why don't we read a little bit from this? Again, this is all about the geopolitical tensions between the United States, China, and the potential future military implications of that in the Indo-Pacific. This is another recurring topic on the show here that we keep continuing to return to. We will. This is not going away. We're going to keep talking about this. So anyway, let's read from this article a bit. I'll just start at paragraph 1 here. In 2011, the Obama administration declared a strategic pivot to Asia, away from the Middle East. Nearly a decade later, in October 2022, the Biden White House published a national security strategy that stated, "No region will be of more significance to the world and everyday Americans than the Indo-Pacific." In the 2024 National Defense Authorization Act, the Sense of Congress declared its goal to strengthen United States defense alliances and partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region to further the comparative advantage of the United States in strategic competition with the People's Republic of China. Today, despite all of these grand declarations, 86% of the annual U.S. foreign military financing, FMF, still goes overwhelmingly, as it has for decades, to nations in the Middle East. And really, that's the main point that the article is making. This guy is saying, hey, look, we've been making the point we need to shift and switch gears from the Middle East over to the Indo-Pacific, but we're not quite doing that. Also very interesting about this article is like the giant chunk. Okay, the FMF that we just mentioned, the foreign military financing, it's $13.2 billion in total in the account for 2024 Congress. And of that $13.2 billion, this is mentioning that Israel got $6.8 billion of that. That's a topical thing, isn't it? Israel is certainly in the news lately. They're getting a lot of our money. That, again, should maybe a larger portion be going to funding our allies in the Indo-Pacific, Thailand, the Philippines, mentioned in this article here. Here, let's read from this article. From this paragraph in the article. The remaining 34 countries authorized to receive this grant assistance, including 2 U.S. mutual defense pact allies in the Indo-Pacific, the Philippines and Thailand, must split the leftovers among themselves, even though they are in a more strategically important region, according to the United States National Security Strategy. All told, under 2% of yearly FMF funding goes towards America's priority theater, the Indo-Pacific. Under 2%. So yeah, Israel maintains its alliance with the U.S. even amongst all of the scandal as of late, I mean, everybody knows the story. We all know what's going on. In the past week, it's all been about the student protests at Columbia and here in UCLA in Los Angeles and other universities across the country. Students are daring to protest against Israel's bombing of innocent civilians. How dare they? And it has to be shut down. We got to shut down those horrible student protests, which is, I mean, what the hell are we doing? From the looks of it, we're upholding our special business partners. We're trying to maintain ties with them for some reason, although they're kind of floundering there. That's a tenuous relationship, seemingly unbreakable between the United States and Israel for so long, as evidenced by all this money that continues to go over there. The current presidential administration has quite the crisis on its hands when it comes to all this. Because Biden knows that the old neoliberal and neoconservative, the old establishment ways of doing business in Washington is to pump a bunch of money to Israel. Keep doing that no matter what. The problem now is that Israel is committing horrific war crimes and crimes against humanity. So, the American public's going, we're not going to stand for this. What are we going to do? And it's so bad that the actual establishment is considering dialing things back, and they're pressing Netanyahu. It's like, hey, Biden has had multiple shaky meetings with him and things like this. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild to see all of this happening. This will absolutely have ramifications for what happens in the presidential election this year. It's going to be a big problem for Biden. I don't know what the ultimate outcome of all this is. If they're going to go forward, there's been legislation now passed that's sort of trying to ban students from protesting on campus against Israel. I mean, how does this end well? It's a lot of things are going to have to work themselves out with this between now and the election date. It's going to be it already is a major thorn in Biden's side. I don't know. He likely won't rectify the situation, considering his the left wing voting base may be ostracized to such an extent that it costs Biden the election. Honestly, this could be one of those things. It could be. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it's a problem for him. And so the neoliberals have their issues. They can't go on. They're trying to maintain business as usual, and it's just not working on all fronts. Business as usual is falling apart. That's the point I'm making here on this show, is that we can't keep this up. We can't keep doing all of this nonsense. Something has got to give. Something is giving. Many things are giving on many fronts. There's a lot of things going on all at once. This is a tough, tough time. It calls, honestly, for some tough decisions and some shifting of gears. There's just no way around it. Things have to change. And the vested special interest groups that run our system, that's exactly what they are. They're vested special interests. They don't want to give up their power and their status and their cushy little position that they've carved out for themselves over all these decades. They want to just keep going on as business as usual. Sorry, we have run this thing into the ground. That's what I was saying earlier. I hope you're happy and that you're living your best life, because this is over now for everybody. It's over for us plebs. It's likely over for you. I don't know. You probably have some contingency plan. You've got your luxury bunker to escape to when whatever horrible thing happens. You can go off to that. So enjoy that. Enjoy your time in your luxury bunker when the rest of us are doing whatever it is that we're going to have to do, the fallout of all this. I hope you're real proud when you're sitting there in your luxury bunker and enjoying yourself. You probably will be. You deserve it. You deserve it. You were smart enough to figure things out. Enjoy a world with nobody else in it, other than, if you're lucky, there might be some AI systems that have survived whatever it is that happens. And if the rest of us are lucky, it actually becomes artificially super intelligent, and maybe it figures out a way to deal with the remaining 2 of you that are left on the planet. Maybe it'll make a nice world. Maybe it'll do a nice fresh start over. But I don't know. Whatever. Now I'm living in the world of science fiction. I don't really these big events where the Armageddon comes, I don't think it's going to come to that. I really don't. I don't mean to like doom monger or anything like that. I don't think it's going to be that bad. And I think we're going to move forward. But that being said, we've got a lot of issues that are going to have to dealt with, and we're being forced to deal with it. What that means, how everything plays out, I don't know. I'm not predicting the future. Anybody who is probably going to be wrong. We can see trends. We can see areas of importance. We can see what we need to keep our eye on. We can see what's now important. We can see how the world has changed. We can see the things like these new technologies, which absolutely are incredibly significant, the AI and things like this. So that's what we'll continue to do here at the Age of Transitions, is keep our eye on all of this. As the governments of the world continue to try to, control the world in their particular brand of totalitarianism. The United States would like to rule with their capitalistic, corporatist system. The Chinese would like to rule with their communist, one-party, centrally planned system, rule the world that way. The Russians, they've got their autocracy going and their cadre of elite power brokers that are courting Putin's favor. They wouldn't mind running the world either. It'd be a horrible system if any one of these places took over and just ran the whole show. Totalitarian style, of course, as I was saying. That's what it would be. But more than likely, not any of them or any other government will get the opportunity because they'll be too busy fighting each other in the run-up to such a scenario. Because none of these governments wants the other to get to that point. So there has to be a skirmish or two on the way to the top. So, that's where we're at in history right now. Let's all just enjoy what we can of it. Okay? So here comes the ride. We're on it. There's no way off. But honestly, is there any other place you'd rather be? Is there any other place to be? I know the transhumanists and all these techno-utopians love to dream about living in outer space and flying out the Star Trek style into the great expanses of the universe, but personally that doesn't really appeal to me. I'd rather stay right here, thank you. Rather live in the middle of the desert than go out into the middle of space. Absolutely horrifying, the idea of floating out in a tiny little capsule out in the endless expanse of space. hoping that you make it one way or another. No, thank you. I'll take my chances in the extreme heats of the summer, the extreme cold of the winter, the punishing winds, the poisonous animals, the sand in your feet, trying to find water to make it a lot easier, a lot nicer, a lot prettier too. So I'll take that. Thank you. My personal choice. So that's pretty much everything. I think we covered everything and a little bit more on tonight's episode of the Age of Transition. So thank you for listening. We'll have some guests coming up on shows to come. It's not just going to be me yelling every episode. It's going to be me asking questions of somebody who actually knows something every now and again. So we will have guests, and that's going to be good. So look for those coming up in the future. And look to the Ochelli Radio Network. In the next few minutes, we're going to have the Uncle the Podcast on, like we always do on Friday night, right after the Age of Transition. So something to...
The Age of Transition.
The Ochelli.com radio network. WallStreetWindow.com. Gold, silver, the stock market. WallStreetWindow.com. Perhaps you're invested deeply. Perhaps you're not in deep enough. Maybe you're thinking about getting started. WallStreetWindow.com. Michael Swanson, the brilliant author of The War State, understood these trends professionally for many years, and now he gives you the benefit of his knowledge. WallStreetWindow.com. Go there now. Go there now. Go there now. The Ochelli.com radio network. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I'm interested in the truth about the JFK assassination.
Right. Well, what do you want to know?
Judy Baker's wild claim, Oswald girlfriend, she knew Ruby and Barry, cancer weapons. Really?
I imagine I could claim I have 4 wheels. It doesn't make me a wagon, but okay.
Oswald was on the kill team and trying to prevent the murder of John Kennedy. Come on now. Has a real expert on the JFK assassination looked into her claims?
Go to Amazon.com. Enter Judith Baker in her own words. You'll get results for a digital copy of a book where Walt Brown utilizes her own words and the known evidence in the case to get at, well, a different perspective, let's say. You can get Judith Barry Baker in her own words from the author himself, signed if you request it, by contacting Dr. Brown at KIASJFK@AOL.com. It's a fun book, and it actually dissects the many, many fantastic claims. Judith Barry Baker in her own words.
Thank you for all the great information.
In Denial, Secret Wars with Airstrikes and Tanks by Larry Hancock. Secret wars became a staple of U.S. covert operations and are still happening today. Larry Hancock's book, In Denial, rips the cover off many of them. Using new files, it exposes things about the Bay of Pigs that no one has ever written about before. It shows why it really failed and why the United States did not learn from it. It also shows why other countries today are doing secret operations with more success. This is the book that puts what some want to deny into the light. In Denial, Secret Wars with Airstrikes and Tanks. Larry Hancock. For more information, go to larry-hancock.com. Pick up your copy of In Denial at Amazon.com in digital or physical form.
Uncle, do you remember that time when Benjamin Fulford said that an Asian secret society was going to dispatch ninjas to take down the Illuminati?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, in the cartoon.
Yeah, did that ever work out too good?
No.
It didn't, did it?
Didn't work.
But here on Ochelli.com radio network, things work out a bit better, don't they?
Much better. I mean, it's clearer in understanding about the programs. The programs are much clearer. Getting live people into it. They really have a good conversation going.
Much better.
Much better scene.
I say forget Benjamin Fulford and his ninjas and listen to the Ochelli.com radio network.
I agree. It's straight to the point.
Straight talk.
And I like that idea.
Ochelli.com.
The views expressed by callers, co-hosts, or anyone else who happens to get on the air at Ochelli.com do not necessarily reflect the views of Ochelli.com or Chuck Ochelli, and we are not responsible for any stupidity which might ensue. Thank you.
Ochelli.com.
Warning, 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 warning. This is a Minesweeper broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name's Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the Start the Show Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's that Friday again. Forgot the numbers calls. I don't know these numbers.
It's Friday. We're on Ochelli Radio Network. We don't have the phones up. However, the chat room is rolling. We got Count Pupper over on Twitch. Hello, Count.
Hey, we get this text man on in there.
The text
we
man?
got something to ask you.
You mean in the chat room?
Yeah.
The count is there. Do you want to ask
him
something? You're talking about creative accidents.
Crazy accidents.
Okay.
The Texas man.
Texas man, yeah. Let me see. Let me check Ochelli chat. I can't remember if he is in there tonight or not. Let's check the Ochelli.com chat. It looks like over there we have Phase Shifter and Chuck. So no, I don't see creative accidents tonight. I'm not sure if he's here tonight, Uncle.
Oh, he's not?
I know they're having trouble with all the rain over there in his area, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I haven't spotted creative accidents yet.
Because I wanted to tell him he's got a very good Texas meal we had from his place.
Yes.
That's why I want to ask him.
Good meal tonight. It was, what was the name of it?
Barbecue chicken ribs and pork and stuff you had.
Yeah, it was Texas something. Texas was in the name of the place, but it was barbecue food.
Barbecue Texas something.
Texas inspired or something like that?
Yeah, well I'm talking that because I know a person like him lives there, and I figured, did he know that? Does he know that
he knows the
company? And maybe he knows the company. And I just asked if he was
in the name.
If he was there, if he was.
Oh, he's in the chat room right now. Texas Roadhouse, he's saying. No, it wasn't Texas Roadhouse.
No, it was Texas Roadhouse.
It was a local place. They had a restaurant in San Bernardino first. Now they have their second one in Riverside, which is we went to downtown. We got the food there. It's Texas is in the name again. I can't remember the name of it, but not Texas Roadhouse.
No, it isn't Texas Roadhouse.
But Crazy Accents is here, Uncle.
But it's a barbecue place. You should try it out sometime there, Crazy Accidents.
Not the beef people.
No, it's not the beef people. But
there he is. Oh, Creative Accents also made it to the Twitch chat as well. So he's Twitch chat, Ochelli chat, Count Pupper there in Twitch as well. We got some good Twitch action going, so that's exciting. We're on Twitch. We're on
what's
YouTube.
Up with Papa now? Papa, what are you up to?
Papa? Oh, Pepper. What's up?
What's happening?
Yeah, feel free to respond to that in chat. We will respond back. We see you there. Again, live, Friday night, Ochelli.com, every Friday.
I'm starting to miss the phone calls.
Are you?
A little bit.
Really?
Not as much, but having a conversation with them. But
we just need to get some guests back in here, which I will. I'll get some more guests.
Yeah, that's what's...
I will. I'll get
what's
them back.
dry about this whole thing. I mean, I can get doing the talking. That's the problem, getting the talking gun started, but it's the recall back to talk back at them, and they talk back at me. And I don't know how that goes.
A listener in California asked me if you're talking about Cowboys Barbecue and Grill.
No,
not that.
That's not it.
Okay, I guess I don't know. I never heard of it, but anyway,
no,
it's called like Texas Inspired or something like that. Oh, Count Pupper says that the Phillies won tonight.
Oh, they did.
Clearing out a room so I can play Sega Genesis. Oh, he's gonna be playing old video games too, Count Pupper.
Oh, so he's ready to have a game thing this weekend. If we can we can get to it.
Yeah. Oh, apologies to listeners. We said we were going to do the VHS thing on Saturday. We didn't. This is what happens. Sometimes we just don't get to it. That last week was that. If we can, we'll do one this weekend.
We'll have to do. We are starting to do the Three Stooges. That is already into what I want to listen to anyway.
Yes.
So it will be them if we listen to that.
Will be. Yeah, if we can, we will do one of those live streams, either gaming or the VHS, or we watch the Three Stooges. We'll do one of them. I love doing them. It's just carving out the time. Things get crazy.
Follow up from our California listener. One place he says is called Best of Texas, and another place is, what does he say? Spirit of Texas Barbecue.
That's it. That was the one. It was Spirit of Texas.
Was it Spirit of Texas?
Yes, that was the name of the place.
I don't even remember the names.
It was Spirit of Texas. Yes.
Nana was saying it. I was completely
it's good.
Over my head.
It's good.
He lives
try that Spirit of Texas.
Where's this listener live?
Yeah, he's only told me. I know he's in California, but he's told me that he's just down a certain number highway from you or something.
Yeah, for 91 perhaps.
I believe that's the number he gave. I got the text here somewhere, but I got a bunch of things in front of me. But anyway, that's what he was telling me. But he never tried that place. But
it's very good.
The Cowboys.
It's very good. Go in there and get a plate.
If you like barbecue,
if you like barbecue,
it's good.
He said he tried Cowboys barbecue and burgers, and he likes that place. He thought that was the place you were talking about, but he never tried this Texas. What is it called?
It's a new one. It's actually a new restaurant. Spirit. It's a new restaurant.
Yeah, Spirit of Texas. That's what it's
called.
That's the one.
That's the one.
We liked it. Yeah, so listener, that's listener/neighbor is who we're talking about here, Uncle. It's one of our neighbors.
Oh, Cliff. Wow. His name's Cliff.
Alex now. Yeah. He can run down when it's actually he does it. His family does it on a birthday. Right. They choose a plate to eat. Mm-hmm. So that's how we do it here.
Shout out to Cliff. He doesn't show up on our stream count, but he is listening on Apple Radio. So
cool. Ooh. Yeah. Hey, Cliff, you said?
Yeah, his name's Cliff. You know?
Cliff. No. I was just gonna say, Cliff. When we get the phone lines back, call in sometime. I'd like to talk to you. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. We'll get them back up. They're not up now, but when they are, give us a call. We can talk about IE stuff. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Be a fun time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Just putting that out there. Glad to have listener interaction. Uncle, we're enjoying ourselves tonight. It's a good night. We got a lot of action in those chat rooms. Got a lot of good listeners. Other people who enjoy barbecue. People who enjoy playing video games and doing fun stuff.
Oh.
How can you go wrong, Uncle?
No. But now I got it so clear of a phone that I'm happy that I got it clear and I can talk on the phone again. No, but what I've gotten, I'm very pleased with because I liked it because I get the things off my phone to put on that so I can go just, hey, you want to play a game? Go to the pad.
Oh, yeah, you have an iPad now.
iPad.
Yes. Yeah, again, the new iPad is getting set up. What do you have set up on it? You have got games yet?
Games, all kinds of games I want, and I eliminated some since they don't want to watch, so I eliminated some. But ones I do play, yeah. Well, sometimes they go on and play on it, and I said, "You want to play this?" Well, we're going on a trip.
Okay. Yeah.
He'll asking, "I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. And I play this."
Yeah. The kids. Yeah.
That I'm talking about. Yours.
Oh, Uncle, you know what game my wife and I have been getting back into lately? The past few nights is Minesweeper.
Where's that on?
Have you ever played that old PC game? It used to come on all computers. Might still, I don't know. Like all PCs had Solitaire, the card game. You've played that a lot.
Yeah.
The other game that came on the computers was this thing called Minesweeper, where it's this like board of a bunch of squares. It's all gray, and you click on them, and it reveals either like a space with a number, or you blow up because you hit a mine. And the whole object of it is to find the mines, and to click mark the mines where they are, and then click the spaces with the numbers until you have the whole board.
If they're on the thing, I could ask them to see and put it on my iPad.
Yeah, I bet you could get an app. Yeah,
I mean, I can get an app from it, but I have to see what kind of game it is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you that app on your thing.
Oh, I got the app. I got it set up. If you can find it, you're welcome.
Count Pupper says he loves Minesweeper. That's great. Yeah, I always loved that game too. One of the things that spurred me on with this game, Pupper, is that I saw this post. There's like these memes on social media where people are like, nobody knows how to play this game. I'm like, really? It's not hard. It's like super easy. I don't understand how like so many people don't even know how to play it in the first place. It's a fun game. It's super simple.
There was this game I had. It wasn't an iPad. It was like a soldier game.
Okay.
And I was going after a flag. I forget what that was called. But
it's an old video game?
It was a game that I had, but I don't know if they have it on app, if it has it on a video on it.
Was it a computer game? Was it a video game like Nintendo or something?
It was a plain old game that we had. I'm wondering if they got it on the iPad, on video now. It's like a soldier game. This is about what you were looking about, the bombs and stuff. I forget what it was called.
We got a lot going on in the chat.
Capture the flag.
What's going on, Chuck?
Capture the flag, maybe. There used to be a capture the flag game.
The flag?
Something like that.
Was it? Do you remember if it was on a computer or a Nintendo or anything like that? You don't?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was on a Nintendo or on a computer.
It was not on it. Was it a arcade game that you put a quarter into?
No.
This is
one of the games I bought.
Yeah.
It's an actual board game? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, it's one of those.
Oh, okay.
And I was wondering if they can put them on them.
A lot of those they made.
Look through the store or whatever and look through it. Not to mind anything. Just to look through it and see if they did.
You're not talking about Stratego, where they had the little soldiers, and you gotta capture the flag eventually, but you got the little soldier guys, you got scouts and generals.
Oh yeah, them.
Stratego.
Is that what it's called?
Stratego or Stratego?
Stratego. Yeah, go ahead and look it up. Stratego. It's this little thing. You have these pieces where you're moving them on the board. Your opponent can't see the pieces, but you can see what your guys are. You got generals and scouts and different people, and you get a certain amount of moves, and you got to move to try and capture the flag piece on the other side.
Right. That's exactly it. That's the name of it.
I've definitely heard that name. I've never played it.
Yeah, it's an old board game.
I had it, and I played it, and I said, I wonder if they have them on video on ET.
Maybe.
Yeah. Check that out, and we will look through it this week.
Stratego's been made into
a because I like that game. If you can get that on play game, I'll play it.
In the days, Aaron, in the days when PC games were multiple discs, right, and you had to load up multiple discs on a PC, there was a Stratego game. Now, I don't know if they've made it since then. Maybe I'll check and see if it's been made into any other video games. But I know it was made into a PC game, like, back in the floppy disk days.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds right.
That is a fun game. I've had it. I actually had the game. I don't know what happened to it, but I had the game, and I kept playing it. Oh, boy, this is fun. I wonder if this is going to have a video. So I'm sitting there, but playing with somebody, and all right, I got red, or he got blue, and a blue, red, American, a Southern, and a Northern fighting to get the flags. And what he said, what Chuck said, there are these players on the board.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I mean,
it is a neat game. I'm interested.
I could get into it.
I'd get into that.
Yes, a Stratego. Well, might have to. You know what? I could look for that on. They might have made it for Nintendo or one of these things like that. That I could get an emulator game that we could play that on the gaming stream sometime. There might be a
find it and see if we can
find
out
that.
Find it if you could.
I'll look for that. Look for that.
So there's some names we've been studying now.
Yeah. So let's see here. There's a lot of action in the chat. Count Pupper's excited about that. He says he doesn't remember. He didn't know how to play Minesweeper when he was a kid, but now he does.
Sweeper.
Great. Phase Shifter Ed is really mad that we're not taking calls anymore, and he thinks we should. Creative Accidents agrees, even though he never calls in. So,
well, what's he do? If he calls in, we'll put him on. How's that sound? Give us a treat.
Creative Accents also says that you, Uncle, need a proper cowboy hat.
Cowboy hat?
Yeah, so you need a cowboy hat.
What for?
For the sun, to keep the sun out of your face.
Oh, no, I have that.
You do? Okay.
I have the fishbone.
Oh, yeah, Gerald Sanders.
Fishbone.
We have that.
I've been wearing that on. I've been wearing that on.
Yes, it has been getting worn.
It's been getting warm, and I've been putting that on.
So that's a good thing.
Okay, I got my other one. I have to go into the washing machine whenever I can get a chance get up here and do my wash.
You're not ready for the full-on Stetson hat, Uncle?
Steffen's hat. Who's that?
That's the fancy cowboy hat. It's a brand of cowboy hat.
I haven't heard of it yet. Or haven't come by me to look it up. Of course, we do look at it. We go to these fairs, and Mom, watch out. I might go looking for things. But they say, don't buy these things. Don't buy these things. I want them for the phone. And I'm going crazy. I'm going in there. And I go to my leather places where I always like to look. And they're all saying, don't bring your money down. You all saying this.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before. Yeah,
and I said, well, when do I have a chance to go to a leather place to look for stuff other than that?
Yeah, it's nice going to the market, the bazaar, and being able to purchase something is what you're wanting to do.
What's something to do? I mean, mainly what I want to see what they make. And, you know.
Lots of wares at the flea market, that's for sure. A lot of interesting stuff.
There was this one thing that was very, very interesting to me. These long term comp for a phone tab.
Phone charger?
Cord. And this was a stretch thing. I said, this would be perfect for your wife, because she's always pulling the job. Let's get a cord. You got a cord? You got a cord? We can use this cord and mother stretch in the neck and try to turn on your phone. In your truck. Every time you turn around, she needs a cord.
Every time she needs a cord.
She has cords, now she can use them.
There we go. Yeah, okay. So what you're saying is you feel real encumbered when you're at the flea market. You wish you could go around buying all these things, which if you were to buy these things, we would all use them.
Well, yeah, you only get a chance to use them almost like a cord, even a cord. I mean, you know, there's to get a couple of them.
Useful items that we need.
You'll use them too, not just me. I mean, you all complain saying you don't buy these things. Don't buy these things. What is your problems with you people?
I don't know, Uncle. I don't know why you're getting held back at the well, I do, but
hey, Uncle, guess what? You can download Stratego free to your iPad. Cliff just pointed this out to me.
You can?
Yeah, you can Stratego online. They got it for your iPad for free.
So, I'm going to go ask your little guy to put it on.
Right on time, Uncle, because you're getting the iPad set up.
I got my pad up. Okay, we'll get that. I want to get him to do that one more game, but I don't have it on.
All you got to do is
look it up. I can tell him to look it up.
Yeah, all you got to do is be able to get in the Apple's. Like, I guess Apple has a separate app store because I don't use Apple stuff. But if you go into the Apple App Store, there's apparently a free download for Stratego Online. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's very helpful.
That is. Because
right place, right time, Uncle.
Perfect timing, because I'm putting these things on my iPad and on the iPad thing instead of my phone. Because I'm going crazy playing the game on the phone. I thought these are supposed to be phone calls, not playing games on them. I get all these games. All right. That settles it. I'm buying some my birthday is an iPad to put the things on the iPad.
Yes.
So I did that.
Well, what are you going to do with the cell phone? Are you saying
cell phone? No, I'll still use it for phone.
Oh, you will use. You will
using it for phones
and nothing else.
That and maybe my music, unless I put some on there.
I put music on the iPad too.
Yeah, I didn't put them both. So
okay,
that, but no, and the foods, food apps. That's on there.
Are going to be on the iPad or the phone? They're going to stay on.
That stay on the phone.
Okay, the food apps. Yeah, you got to have those to get the
deals. And these things that we're talking.
These things, the computer?
No.
I see the waving of the finger.
The apps for talking shows. On my iPad. On my
like
phone.
YouTube and videos and stuff?
No, those on my phone. The
live streaming software?
He's talking podcasts there.
Podcasting.
Oh, for listening to podcasts. Of course.
Usually is for something.
Yeah.
I have to do something to tell him to straighten up.
I know exactly what you meant the whole time.
Yeah, well, what are you saying? Yeah. That's what I meant.
Podcasts. Yeah. Uncle, we're podcasting right now.
Yeah, I know. I would like to know for a strange time, if you have the time. No, you never do.
Sure don't.
To talk to these fellas, I want to know what's the top subject on podcasting. Our neighbors over here.
Well, they like lighting their exhaust pipes on fire. That's a major topic. Making flames coming out of their exhaust system. That's probably got to be in the top 3, I would say, of things.
They bought that house. You know how they bought that house?
By shooting flames out of the exhaust of their car.
No.
Well, how'd they do it? I don't get it.
Podcasting.
Okay.
They're podcasting people.
So they do podcast?
Yeah. The son,
they probably do.
The father, the mother.
Yeah.
They're all together.
Oh, so they're all in on it.
Yeah.
They're conspiring. Okay. Well, that's fine. It's making money. That's good.
Every time I go by that house at night, I see either a blue light or a red light in his room.
You gotta have the lighting.
You have the lighting.
Gotta have that.
I know where he's going.
It's important, Uncle. Gotta have that good lighting.
And these are the broadcast guys. I'm telling myself. I'm talking to the dog. Hey, dog. They're broadcasting in here.
Yeah, maybe.
The ones that you haven't been able to talk to.
I haven't. No, I have not.
That's the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know. I follow you. They seem to have really found their way, so to speak, in the world of podcasting or online media or whatever it is that they're up to over there, and online and not so online media from the looks of it. So,
your wife had a piece of my cake.
She had a piece of cake.
Sugar-free doesn't taste sugar-free. It's pretty good. You should have a bite.
Oh, yeah?
Had some this night. Fudge.
Oh, yeah, sugar-free cake. Okay, yeah, I'll try it out. I'll see what it's all about. Yeah. See what the fuss is about. Sounds good to me. Uncle, I know things are just great. Things are, you should have been here in the hour before in government hour, man.
What did you guys talk about?
It was just fun was a topic. Being happy all the time was the second topic.
Holy shit.
Being joyful.
Sound like my apps.
Eat, pray, love. That came up at one point. What else did I mention? I think I mentioned bunny rabbits like on Easter, kitty cats, presents, all the stuff from that song. Like these are my favorite things. You know, all the stuff that they sing in that song from the musical, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's getting better. Your hour.
I know, right?
Seem to be it's been going down lately because of what you've been talking and all this stuff. But lately, you've been up here and picking up some.
Yeah, things are heating up, Uncle. Things are good. Inland Empire. Let me see. I want to take a look at the numbers over here. I find that. Okay, yeah, during the show, they're not always huge, but then after the fact, it seems like we're getting a decent amount of views across the live stream platforms, the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter. Those three. The other ones, but those three people are enjoying the content there, so that's pretty cool.
Well, they're listening to us, jabberjawing. Of course, jabberjawing. We are the only two talking at this time, because that's what our names are, jabberjaws.
Indeed.
Oh, jabberjaw. Oh, no. Ever seen that cartoon?
Yeah, it's an old Hanna-Barbera, right?
Yeah.
He's a shark?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember that. That was one of the less popular of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, but I do remember it, yeah. Let's see. In the Ochelli chat, we've got Creative Accidents asking, how is Pierce Redmond? Uncle, you still picking up cans? And Caddy in Texas needs an Amish scooter. Oh,
she does?
Yeah. Tell her to
look
go.
At that. We could have had sold one to her when we were doing the business.
Yeah, well, we don't have any, but they are still, you can find them online. People sell them through eBay. The Groffdale Machine Company is the Amish scooters. You can find them different places online. If you go to Pennsylvania, if you're in Lancaster County, stop in Loyola at the Groffdale Machine Company shop/store, and you can buy one direct from them. I would suggest, if you're able to do that, because it is a experience to be there. That's for sure.
The one I really wanted a purple one. That said, you wanted this? You want this? I can give it to you. And boy, but then we had the conversation. All right. How are we going to ship it? That's the next question for me, because I like the purple one. Remember that?
I do.
I wanted that purple.
It's a good color. I think they call the color plum. They're all powder coated. Yeah, it's a cool color. It was. Yeah. It's a good color. Many different colors. We've still got 3 in the house of our own.
Oh, the kids got two.
The kids only have one. They have that small child-sized one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and they have the silver one.
The silver aluminum one.
And your dark green one.
Mine, which is steel, and it's got the big 24-inch wheel on the front, the 20-inch wheel on the rear. So that's the biggest one that they make. I do like that one a lot, with the big wheel on the front.
I haven't seen you driving that one.
I know. I haven't even gotten out to do anything like that in a while. It's unfortunate.
You need to exercise more.
I do. It's
Get
true.
out and exercise.
I do. I need to exercise. We all do, but I definitely do, yes. Exercise. I was doing, now that you mention it, Uncle, I was doing yoga in the yard today.
I know, I saw that.
That was good. That was very good. I should do more of that.
Well, I should listen to these morning's tapes, and I'd get you going.
Oh, yeah, the Tai Chi for Health.
Yeah.
That was a very good tape that we watched, yeah. Maybe I should get into it. We've got Tai Bo. If I did Tai Bo, I would be in shape if I did that regularly. We have that VHS sitting right here, right now.
Right in front of us.
So there's nothing stopping me other than stopping itself. Right? That's what they say. So we'll have to fire up the old Tai Bo and maybe a little bit of Tai Chi tape here and there and keep doing the yoga, and everything will be good. And get out on the Amish scooter every now and again. I should get back into cycling. I should. I want to.
I get back in my blue one and get that blue one down.
Yeah, I know. I should get a bike. I have a coworker that's into cycling.
One. That big blue one, now it's set up, I don't want it.
Oh, you're talking about your bicycle.
My bicycle. I want to get back on it.
Yeah, the old Hard Rock. That's a good bike. Yeah,
I know. I want to get back on it. I know I can ride fairly good going on the hills. It may be more difficult, but I can go up and down the house, like, say, go to the store. Instead of me getting people to take me, I'd rather go on my bicycle.
Yeah.
I have my locks. I got all the things I need.
The thing, well.
And I can go get my things.
I like the idea
stuff, but.
Yeah, we're not really in a bikeable community is the problem with that. I really like the idea of that. I don't want to shut it down, and I would be doing it more too, but we're out here, Uncle, and we're also kind of like, the road back to the house is not an easy one. It's not like we can just go down the street and then come right back.
That's the problem.
It's an arduous trip, especially coming back home, if that's what we were doing. So not really bike commuter area we're in. But if we were, I would be doing that all the time too. I did that in Long Beach.
And I did that in Orange, back and forth. back and forth. I was doing my exercise. We're going, we did the bike.
Orange was fairly bikeable. Yeah, it was nice and flat and all that. It wasn't bad.
Bike in Orange.
Yeah, Orange was pretty good. And Long Beach was the best. Long Beach was great.
And I also at night, even I was riding a bike.
Yes.
Where they said, "Well, where has he been? Well, where's he going?" You know, everybody's asking.
People get nervous riding bikes at night. But I find that I feel safer a lot of times, especially in town. I feel like night, I don't feel less safe. The only thing you got to watch out for is people that are like out of control, maybe drunk driving. But as long as you're paying attention and you see that coming, you got to be paying attention. Uncle, that's the hard part about cycling is that you must at all times be paying attention to everything around you.
Oh yeah, that's the
you can't slack on that.
Deal to watch around people.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for them.
So I wait a minute. Yeah, the first couple of times I was going to work on the bike.
I know.
Actually, that was more exercise than it was good for.
Yes,
but that was before I had the buses, right? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was before buses. Yeah.
Before the buses came. Because I was doing that. Going back and forth and using that bike.
Yes.
Tied it up and put it up. When it came out, I took the bike back to my home.
Specialized. That was the Specialized that we were talking about, yeah. It's a good bike. It's a good old bike.
It was a good ride in there. And it still is, actually. But
yeah, we still have it, yeah. There was talk about somebody wanted to sell it, but no, I'm keeping that bike.
You know who wants to sell it?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
I am not selling that bike.
No.
Heck, I bought it for $40. I go up. If it was going, I would go up another high. We'd go up to $50 if I was wanting to.
We bought it cheap. It needed repairs, but that was easy to do. We just repaired a couple of things, put some new parts on. I put the dynamo hub on it. I put a wheel with a dynamo hub on the front wheel, and now you've got the light that the dynamo hub powers. So when you roll down the road on the bike, the light comes on because of electricity that's generated from the wheel.
The only thing I need filled is the air in it. I need to air the tires when I go. I've been trying to use it. But
Yeah, no, that bike we have set up really good, so I don't want to get rid of that one.
I don't either.
That one, or I have a similar old 1990s mountain bike style frame that I have set up with the dynamo hub and all that. And yours has a leather saddle too.
Yeah, that's leather saddle. And that's double cost price too. No way I can't sell that.
No, you don't want to get rid of that.
So that ain't going to happen.
Nope. Sorry, everybody.
I'd rather have that than having whatever cost you would get it for. I'd rather have the bike.
I haven't, you know what? I remember that the bike market heated up a bit during the COVID era, but since then I haven't been keeping tabs on what used bicycles are worth these days. I'm assuming it probably went down from that peak during COVID, but I don't know. I haven't checked either. I need to look into that. I don't know what the price points are these days on good old bicycles.
Worked on bikes, you could find out.
I could. It wouldn't be hard, yeah. Working on bikes is fun. That's something I haven't done in a while either. Should probably do that if I get around to it. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I gotta see George again. Who's that crazy nut trying to fix my bike? When he comes in.
Fix your bicycle?
Oh, yeah. The hat.
Oh, that
uniform, that guy.
Yes.
I haven't seen him.
I actually did. I found those coveralls when I was cleaning out the garage the other day. I found that pair of coveralls.
Hold on to him because he might have to be back to work on it.
Yeah. I didn't know if I had them anymore, but I did find those, so that's good. So those still exist. I have that old pair of glasses, the board shirt style glasses. I have those.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's still around. If anybody knows what we're talking about, I think only Uncle and I know what we're talking about at this point.
Yeah.
But that's fun. Inside jokes, inside something. We're indoors. We're inside right now. Outdoor podcasting might be fun, but we're not going to do that anytime soon.
Well,
could that work, Uncle?
That's a lot of work towards that. If you go outside, then you got to take all this stuff outside. And you know how you are taking equiment down.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I mean, that would smiling now.
Not the
be
most
laughing
fun.
blood's going down the stairs. Let's go outside and do a podcast. Outside? Why don't I take all this crap down the stairs? Yep. I can hear it now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, all the crap going downstairs. It's a beautiful sound, kind of like the sound of children coming downstairs on Christmas morning. In this case, it's all the crap coming down the stairs so that we can podcast outside. That's like a gift, too.
Well, if we had a decent... Well, we did have gone down here recently. We tried it down here. Remember, we even had a guest.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the party people?
Party people came.
We did do that. That might not be a bad setup to return to, is the live in-studio guests. Might be a good format to see if we can get back to that. Yeah, we'll see. It's a possibility. We'll see. We could do some format changes if we're so inclined.
If we could get the people to come, that would even be
That's a trick. You got to convince people to come out here. Yeah. That's our hard part. Who are we going to get? Who's crazy enough to come out here?
Well,
we're dumb enough.
We got podcast people right.
We do.
Doing the street.
We'd be like, hey, we got the studio.
Talk to them. Hey, want to come over here? You don't have the time.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Time is an illusion, Uncle. There's no such thing. You ever hear that one? Yeah. Anybody throw that one out yet at any point?
I've heard it.
I think I heard that one recently.
Teeth right in here for some reason.
Your teeth?
The bottoms.
What's it doing? It hurting?
Yeah, a little bit. But I'm trying that you guys are not. Personally, I don't know what it's causing. The problem.
I'll have to check that one out. Yeah.
I take them out and they rest my mouth.
When you take them out, it's a problem?
No, no. I can rest my mouth.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of tough having them in? Okay.
For coming now, a few hours it has this right here on this corner. I don't know what the cause.
I have to tell the doctor about that one, the dentist or somebody about that. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. We are now currently broadcasting YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X. We're on it. Let me go to Twitter X right now.
I miss the guy talking, the wrestler guy all the time on my callers. I sort of miss him.
The wrestler? Do we have a wrestler that called?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're talking. Yes, I know. Jesse Ventura. Yes.
Ventura.
Of course, I knew that.
That.
Yeah, we used to get a lot of calls from him. Do you? Here's a question. Do you want the calls reinstated, Uncle? Do you want to reinstate them? We're not going to do it tonight, but we could do it if you want. In the following weeks, we could bring them back. Is that something that you would prefer to do?
Yeah, that gets me talking.
Yeah.
I think gets me talking more.
Okay.
And to get them having a talk with the person.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Because right now, as we stand here now, I'm losing talking. I know we had a talk, but I lose track of what to talk about. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Have you seen that have that problem?
Sometimes.
So that's been my problem. But I don't know when it's callers. I can get into.
Well, the thing that we can take comfort in, Uncle, is it's a common problem in today's society.
Well, I know that.
A lot of people out there podcasting. What they do is they get on that mic, they start recording, and they're like, they podcast for a minute, they talk for a minute, then they realize, I don't know what to talk about. This is an issue affecting millions of Americans.
Oh, so that all over the place then.
I think so.
Well, then that's as simple as it.
And you get the pharmaceutical companies on this to figure out a cure for this. I'm sure that they're on it right now. There must be something.
Well, give me guys a hint. Exactly what he said. You got a job to do. Do that, and then we'll be satisfied. Yeah.
Call us Huey Lewis because we need a new drug. We need it.
Lewis.
Yeah, that's you, Uncle.
Oh, yeah.
You're Huey Lewis. I'm
Lewis Lewis in the news. That's one go?
You got it. Yeah.
Something like
I need a new drug. Which later became, famously, Ghostbusters.
That was Ghostbusters?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A little controversy surrounding the Ghostbusters song. It sounded a little bit too much, maybe like Huey Lewis's song. But whatever. It's not the first time or last time that happened. Songs. What was that one? Sam Smith had that legal trouble with Jeff Lynne of ELO and Tom Petty because his song sounded too much like Don't Back Down, which Lynne and Petty both had writing credits on. You remember that? This was a few years back, but you recall the story, Uncle?
Yeah, I remember that song. That too.
I think Stay With Me was the Sam Smith song. Stay with me. You're all I need. So it had like the same melody as Don't Back Down. And Lynne and Petty won that one. They won that in court, and they got money out of it. So.
They did?
Yeah, as I remember. I believe so, yeah.
Pleasure when these singers finally get something out of the deal.
Finally they get something. Yeah, it's odd because there's so many instances of similar cases. It's like it begs the question, like, well, why does that not happen a lot more? Because you would think it could. There's a lot of songs that sound just like others, but I don't know. I don't work in the record industry, Uncle. I don't know how this stuff works.
Who doesn't? Only the people that know, like the song people. Mm-hmm. Boy, I sure do like that song about the horses.
Shakira? Yeah, the Shakira horse song. Yeah,
I know that. I'll tell you something. I know that song by heart. To know the song, how she sings it, I have that memory down.
Yeah, you got that one down by memorized. Yeah, the horse song by Shakira. Yep.
Yeah.
Whose hour is it? It's Uncle's hour, says Anon0302. There we go. Bring back the callers, Uncle, says Creative Accents. Man, all the people are saying they want calls. So that's what the listeners, or that's what the chat people seem to be saying.
They want to hear the chat talkers.
Yeah.
Well, if they do me a big favor, it's a big one, Crazy Accidents, you get up and call us, and I'll have them on. How's that?
Okay. So,
all right, Crazy? I want to know if he gets on the phone, I will definitely turn him on.
There we go.
How's that for a president? I haven't heard his voice once.
Yeah, there you go, Creative Accents. So
that's something to think about.
We put that one out there.
I put that out there for you.
So you
and
know.
Then let's see next week. Oh, let's go. Start talking and you.
But what do you say? Do you think should we bring back the calls next week? Do you want to, Uncle, or no? You want to stay with this?
What I want to do is what I just said. I like Crazy Accidents to get on the call. Okay. And if he gets on the call just to talk to, I want to go. I want him on.
And then I believe it was Cliff in the IE, our IE neighbor, listener, friend. We want to hear from you as
you
well.
Want to hear from him.
So get ready. These phone lines are coming back soon.
They're coming back fairly soon. Maybe
next week.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week or next to 2
or the week after.
Or the week after.
We'll see how they
up
feel.
in them. It's
But you better keep showing up for the live show because the phone lines are going to be up at some point. So there you go. Be ready, everybody. Because they're going to be back. It's just a matter of time.
I just want to listen to Sidekick's voice.
Yeah, we do. Press the buttons in the meantime on our social media accounts. YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, at Uncle Podcast on all of these. It's at Uncle Podcast. We're easy to find. We're out there. And press the button so that you're following. That's an important thing to do, Uncle. If they don't do that, they're just not going to be on social media, not doing it right, at least.
Just the button pushed. Is that one time, right?
Yeah, all you have to do is press it once, and then you're subscribed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Boy, that's easy.
Point that button, press it, and boom.
There you go.
And you're done.
Phase Shifter says, got to open the lines for Crazy Accents to call.
There you go.
And Crazy Accent says something to think about.
He says?
That's what he says. Something to think about.
Okay, let him think about it. He may get started talking.
He also says he wants Big Gerald Sanders to call as well.
Well, him? He could.
He's called before.
Yeah, he can call. I have to talk to him.
Might happen again.
The fish man.
The fish man. The fish man calling in.
Thinking of them fish. Restaurant. Time I think of him. I didn't even think I had a problem with him.
I know Robin has keeps trying to pitch his idea for the whatever town fishmongers, like the Seattle Fishmongers should be a new team somewhere, or some other fishmongers should be a team.
Oh,
that's his idea. We'll see if maybe we could get that going somehow. It's important.
We got a big problem. One of your favorite squirrels are running around here.
My favorite?
No. Ed's.
Oh, Ed's. I was going to say they're not my favorite.
Not yours. Ed's. Running around. We don't know what he's doing.
The ground squirrel, right?
Ground squirrel, and he's looking at food.
Is he trying to eat our crops?
Could be. Remember this is a problem. We got to get Ed on it.
Oh, no.
Ed, you got to get on it and bring those squirrels over to you. Get this squirrel out of here.
Coax them away from Riverside and then up to the Pacific Northwest where you can contain them and feed them so they don't eat our beloved vegetables and fruits from our garden. We need
That's what your wife was saying, and she saw one big boy walking down there and taking some fruit or something off the thing. So,
yeah, they've been around. I've seen those plump little goofballs walking around. One ran across the road the other day. I did see that. A lot of animal activity out there. Saw a couple coyotes walk in the back fence the other day. Yeah. That's not unusual.
And that's not unusual. The dog will go attack.
Yes.
You hear the contact. Wake up time. In the house. You get, who's got the dog out? Who left the dogs out? I don't let the dogs out. The dog's barking at these coyotes.
Yeah.
Doing their job.
Yeah.
What I should say.
They love to bark. Yes, we're broadcasting from the facilities of Ochelli.com. We're also out here in Riverside, as we were saying. Land of citrus. It continues to be. Lots of cool citrus groves out here. The smell of the blossoms has been in the air for the past month or so, which is a nice touch. They're starting to go away, though, the blossoms, and just turn into the fruit slowly but surely. It's exciting, Uncle. Never a dull moment.
We've actually sold some fruit things off our tree here.
We sold fruit? Didn't we give it away?
I mean, give it away.
Yeah.
We gave it away.
Yeah.
A bunch of people, and boy, I've never seen so many people that like it.
It was good.
They
some good fruit on those trees.
They took every single bag.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
I put them in a bag, but they said they want to put them in a. I don't know what bag. He's got these bags and so.
Kumquats we gave away.
Kumquats, that's what they were.
More than we could eat. There are a lot of them on our little small tree, but
really popping on there.
Yeah, fruits prolifically.
The only thing he's got to work on is a dragon fruit tree. That still he's got to work on. Get the pipe
I need to build the trellis for it before I plant it.
Right.
Then I'll plant it so it crawls up the trellis. And then once we have it going, it's growing in its pot real good.
I know.
I need to get it in the ground.
I wonder, though, if it's going to break the pot soon, though.
It could.
And if it does that, you'd have to start.
I guess so, yeah.
You'd have to start.
I just got to figure out the trellis exactly how I want to make it. There's a couple ways I could go about it, but I'll do that. I'll do that soon. Yeah. Get that thing in the ground.
Because we got a neighbor, of course he hasn't asked. They gave it to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll let him know. We'll give him updates on the dragon fruit. Yes.
Yeah. That is delicious fruit.
It's good.
You guys, honest. Yeah. It even beats that other one over there. It's close to that one, but not on. But
pomegranate?
No, not the pomegranate. The other one next to that.
It's like a dragon fruit?
It looks like the fruit, like it.
It looks like a dragon fruit. Tell me like another like sort of tropical, like a papaya or something like that, or a mango.
Something tasted like that.
Dragon fruit's interesting because it grows on a succulent.
Right.
I don't know how many people realize that, but it's a succulent plant that a pitaya or dragon fruit grows on. It's a vining style succulent.
One dragon fruit as we're walking the dogs one day back to the west side here, and they had a tree up on the top, and one was hanging over
a wall. Someone's wall. In
someone's yard. Wall, and I guess they didn't notice. And he's gonna pull it off.
We grabbed it, and we ate it, and it was good.
And ate it, and so now that's fruit. I tell these people that's fruit. Now we got to get that thing and put it in the ground.
Does need a trellis, otherwise it'd be all over the ground. It needs something to climb up. Yeah, it's like a vine. Yeah, it's a succulent that's like a vine that has a crazy fruit on it. It's a very strange plant, but it's cool. It's a cool thing, fun, and it grows well out here. They grow very well. Those and many other fruit plants, the pomegranates do so good out here. The citrus trees do really good. A lot of different fruit trees. We're thinking about putting a peach tree.
That pomegranate one out front to get going.
Yes, it did not fruit last year, but we'll see this year. The one in the backyard fruited real good.
They blown out.
That was
the
good.
one in the backyard that blew out.
Those were good.
Let's see if the one in the front can do the same.
Hopefully,
this coming year.
I do like a pomegranate. Those are real good. Love those things. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to fruit trees. We got fruit trees out here in California. It's one of the nice advantages of living out here. You can do stuff like that. Just grow a fruit tree, and it works out pretty good.
The only thing they're having problems with right now is the orange trees. They had a fruit fly flying around.
Yeah, they did.
And they took them all off.
Hopefully that doesn't get worse than what it is already. But yeah, that's concerning for the area. That could wipe out a lot of the citrus around here, which I hope that doesn't happen, but it's a possibility. Something to keep our eye on. So yeah, that's not cool, but we'll see. Right now the citrus is doing well still. See if we can keep it that way.
Got this one tree, this delicious orange tree. And we're saying it's a different name orange.
Tangelo.
That is delicious. I like it over any other ones, even out there.
They're good.
Now, I could probably put juice to that. If
you could juice one, absolutely.
I can juice one of them. Maybe next year I'll pull out a few and then see how much juice gets out of that. Orange juice. Because let's have some people going for orange juice. And they always say, we got any orange juice?
We got Tangelo juice. Close enough?
It's right out the door there. Go get the squeezers. That's what I'd say.
Not hard to do, yeah. Yep. It's wonderful, wonderful fruit. Mineola Tangelo. Who doesn't love that? Especially when it comes right off the tree. That's the best. Doesn't get better.
And it is even better than the ones in the store.
They're no good.
Man, those ones in the store don't even taste the difference.
They're worthless.
They are. I mean, I go into I saw your parents, for example, going for oranges.
Yes.
She grabbed oranges, I think, off the tree.
Well,
or was it on that trees? The trees.
I don't know where they got them from.
But sure not go to the store with them and get them because it won't taste good. Man, it won't not taste good.
Don't bother. Gotta get fresh out here, so you gotta come out to Riverside, grab it off the tree. Sorry, you have to. It's the only way to eat an orange, according to us. It's true. Yeah. Sad but true.
The one across the street from our street is where I get some of them, and that one tree I can get from orange juice. Now, an orange, plain orange now, isn't the same. That is the ones up on the hill you get off of.
Yes.
The orange juice, oranges. There are two kinds of oranges. That's what Joseph.
Many different varieties of oranges.
That's what Joseph taught me. Said, no, you don't do this. You juice these.
God juice.
Use the other one for eating. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I was going juicing on trees.
Well, Uncle, I would say we've had a wonderful show tonight. It's been downright enjoyable.
At least we've been talking some.
We've been talking quite a bit. It's been good. We should remind people, once again, our social media is at Uncle Podcast. You're going to find that on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and even a couple other places like Twitch. It's at Uncle Podcast. The website is unclethepodcast.com. We're live every Friday here on the Ochelli Radio Network, Ochelli.com. Uncle, why don't you bring it home for this week?
What was our number? The heck number was
something.
this? Our number was, I don't...